car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Choose Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil designed for today's engines exclusively at your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
The Action Line with Bart Walker, weekday mornings at 8:10.
WGNS, your good neighbor station.
Rutherford County's place to talk. On air, online, and on the phone. You can listen to us anywhere. News Radio WGNS is Rutherford County's place to talk. We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
Welcome into the Roundtable. I'm Andy Herzier on this glorious, beautiful Monday morning. I'm with one of my... I can't remember how long. I think I've known you as long as I've been here. Greg Pogue. And Greg, you have worn so many hats since I've been here too. But you are now with the Nashville Cats. It's your second year. And we kind of talked about this when I called and said, would you come back on? In your first year, what did you guys learn, you and Coach Fisher?
Well, thanks for mentioning Jeff, obviously, but to not trust a lot of people, quite frankly, that the league started and where it is now, it's officially called AF1. There is no Arena Football League in that existence. It had some people that had made promises to organizations. 8 survived, and I mean that literally 8 franchises, because we did not depend upon the falsehoods of others, and so Jeff was made the interim commissioner. I mean, like 2 weeks into the season last year. I mean,
it's crazy.
And so it was. You can't have a year 2 until you have a year 1, right? And you can't have a year 3 until you have a year 2. And so we have a new league. We got solid membership. Our marketing partners, I mean, I can go around the horn, but Hulk Hogan is now involved with the league. Vice, which has 40 million subscribers worldwide, is launching a sports platform, CBS Sports, and different ones with that. And we're off and running, yeah. A week from Saturday night, March 29th, we are at home against the Albany Firebirds at Municipal Auditorium at 5 o'clock. And then the following Friday, April 4th, at home against the Oregon Lightning. So, yeah, it's here. It's like, you know, that was saying drinking water through a fire hose. I'm like laying under. It's not Niagara Falls, maybe Fall Creek Falls. It is just hitting you right in your face.
But Fall Creek Falls has taken the lives of many people.
Yeah. It's
when it flows, it's gushing. So you look at it now. You've got a solid 8. What is your, I guess, your outlook, your growth for?
Well, there's going to be 4 more teams in 2026. We give teams the option. You want to come in, because you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? So the league has to make sure that all the teams are foundationally sound, you know, and so that, and then we'll be in Monterrey, Mexico next year. There's several other major markets that we're going to be into, and there's certainly the indoor football game. You get anybody in the door, they love it because it's we say we're going to throw a party, maybe a football game will break out. I don't know. Yeah.
So you look at it, you're expanding internationally too.
All right.
How, I mean, Greg, how do you make sure that the people that are coming in are who they say they are?
Well, there is a very in-depth vetting process that goes on with it, and a lot of these, though, while the Nashville Cats are a reiteration of where we once was, now, I mean, we're still basically a startup, in our world. But you look at Albany, Billings, these teams that have been in playing indoor. Albany's 25 years, 30 years. They're the ones that sort of been foundationally there in those markets. Albany, the state capital of New York, Billings, Orlando will be back. So you have a good base, but it's also, even when people come in, there is a learning curve with what to do, and you only have, it's not like, say, the Sounds. What do they play? 70 home games a year, right? Everybody, we've got only 4 or 5 bites of the apple at home.
So when you look at it, and your marketing partners that are here, I know that's part of what you're doing is growing that base. What do they get for being your marketing partner, Greg?
Well, I mean, we have a deck of different things from however, it's that old saying, how much, the more you spend, the more you get, right? Yep. But, from anywhere from signage, the dasher boards, we have a radio product, we have a TV product, you have spots within that, on-site activation. We're giving away, several thousand rally towels at the opener that'll have a logo of your company on it. So we'll fix it to your comfort level. How about that?
Well, I think that, I mean, because you know what I do. I'm out all the time knocking on doors. So, and people want something. Mm-hmm. And again, I think football runs all of sports, especially college sports. But I think football is what everybody wants to be a part of. And arena football, you say it's a party, and I get what you're saying, but there's still a football component to it, Greg.
These guys are, one step away. We'll have people on our roster that will be in NFL training camps. They'll be in the Canadian football leagues. There's other indoor leagues. Indoor football league out in the West has been around for 25 years, very successful. And so, and now what's the UFL, the United Football League. So these are people that, all conference players. This isn't a beer league. Trust me, these guys can flat play, and they're one step away from that next level.
Well, you look at it, everybody wants to go have a good time and spend their money. So let's talk. What does it cost be a season? Give some different.
Well, here's what we're doing this year. We're doing this. Our first 2 home games. We're playing also in Clarksville at F&M Bank Arena. We had a great partnership up there with with Fort Campbell and everything. So we'll be going back there for our last regular season game. We got another game there, but these first 2 games, our way of saying just sort of thank you to everybody is that $5 general admission. First, we want to, and then we have some quote VIP area seating for $25. Our basic price structure is $20, $30, $50. $20, some at $10, but $20, $30, $50. But these first 2 home games, you could have a VIP, get some swag and all that for $25 and a reserve seat. But everybody else, it's $5. and just come on in and have a good time. Our thing is right now is to make sure we feel once we get people in there, they'll come back.
So talk about the football side of this now. Who's your coach?
Darren Arbett. He is 16 wins away from being the all-time indoor winningest coach. He's won several arena bowls with Sacramento, and his staff are just these guys. They're
eat, drink,
yeah, they do, yeah,
and sleep football.
Well, and you're thinking it's also a seasonal thing, right? We have basically 3.5 months, and so. But yeah, I mean, with that staff, our players I can't go too deep on our players right now because we just broke from training camp, and few people that were there last week aren't around anymore. So our roster will be set. Final roster this week. We carry 24. We play. It's basically 8-man football. You've got the receivers. There's also one receiver can be in motion like the snap, but the most fun part of the game is the net behind the real skinny goalpost, right? And you kick it into that net, and ball's live, and there's a lot of components of it, and it's how many sports, maybe even with hockey, if the ball goes up in the stands, you get to keep the football, right? Okay, but if one of our players ends up in your lap, you can keep the football, throw our players back. So you're right on top of it.
Yeah, it's very much an engaged fan to player.
Oh yeah,
athletic.
During the TV timeouts, our quarterback was playing pitch and catch with the kids up in like eight rows up, right? I don't think that's going to happen many places.
So Greg, you said huge learning curve, year one, year two. A whole new league, 8 teams. What's the end all? How many teams?
16. We'd like 16, and we're looking international teams as well, and even expanding into a European indoor football league. Over there is just they're nuts about football, period, and they can't get enough of it. But yeah, it's just grow this, and I think we have now. With the Vice network in a company called Evergreen, which is handling all of our streaming, Evergreen Now, which is huge, and we've signed the beer deal with Hulk Hogan and the official beer of the league, and he's going to make some appearances, and then we have a gambling component, which is the big carrot that's dangling out there. You have to show stability to be put on the board in Vegas, but once you're on the board in Vegas, everybody, it was so funny how people fought gambling forever, right? Now they can't wait to jump in bed with the gambling partners. You see them, MGM Grand, the Titans, the Predators, they all have their gambling partner now, So they fought it. But they couldn't wait. They said, we had to fight it for the public image. We sure the hell hope we don't win, right?
Well,
and the NCAA still hadn't figured out how to handle the gambling component.
They haven't figured out a lot, Greg. But we could go and talk about that for about 5 shows. I mean, what path they're on, I don't think sustainable. But talking about the 8 teams in it and getting again rebranding yourself basically, because the Cats had a following, so again probably the cheapest, I hate to use that word, entertainment in Nashville.
Least expensive.
And
cheapest, yes.
But how again do you sustain it with a $25 ticket?
Well, it's corporate sponsorships, obviously. It's just a lot of other ways. The league-wide, the gambling component will be huge, okay, because this, I know in this state we I know the metrics say we're one of the per capita the number one gambling state. We can do it legally, right? I mean, I don't on my phone because it's too easy, but so once you can tap into that and everything that flows through your marketing component, and like if you say, hey, I want to bet on the Final Four, but I put in the tag Nashville Cats, we get a piece of that.
So explain that deeper to our audience, because why shouldn't we help the Nashville Cats?
Well, yeah, and hope you good luck. You don't bet more than you can. No, but it's everybody's in that game right now, and except the NCAA, they don't know how to go around. They can screw up a 2-car parade, but so yeah, if you use our code, you get I'm sending you through my marketing to that point to place a bet. You put my code in, then I've driven you to that spot.
Wow. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at it and I'm scratching my head. The NCAA is not very smart.
No, and they don't. But now that whole cat's out of the bag anyway. The NIL, the collectives, the transfer port, whatever. I mean, 7-year. You ever coach a 7-year player?
You know that answer is no, because I've been out of it 23 years now, Greg. So you look at the Cats, though. What is the most important thing? Winning or putting on a great show?
The show. It is. I mean, people go to the Nashville Sounds. They don't go there because they're playing, sometimes maybe if you're a fan of the Cubs, you don't leave there, wow, we lost that one, right? Or you go there for the
entertainment
the entertainment, right? And so, yes, winning, obviously. But at that level, it's certainly the show, and people need to be entertained. They expect to be entertained. And then I think the game's entertaining in and of itself. So, yeah, I think getting them, wanting to come back.
So besides not trusting people that say who they say they are, how do you move forward to make this league a really viable long-term?
Well, I think you start with the credibility that Jeff Fisher brings into it as the commissioner. He is not only a commissioner, he is a partner in the league. So his credibility, he was in Tampa last week doing the Hulk Hogan announcement. He was in Bend, Oregon, Saturday. He was in Everett, Washington yesterday for those games out there. I think that is the first place. Also, Jerry Kurtz, who is our day-to-day operational in the league. It's KURZ. If you just Google him, he knows how the sausage is made. So the credibility points of it and sustainability, that's all. You want to just, this doesn't need to be a fly-by-night thing. And the Nashville Cats, you talked about it earlier, they averaged home games 11,900, right at 12,000 a game. But that was in Bridgestone Arena. Obviously, we play a municipal auditorium, but back then they were also the only game in town too. They were a precursor to the Cats and the Titans.
You look at that though. There's so many people moving in here from all over the country. This is the time of year to have it.
Yeah.
There's nothing. After the NCAA tournament, there's really nothing besides the Sounds in town.
No. The Preds will be finished in the end of April. They won't make the playoffs this year. The NFL's always front and center news-wise, but the season obviously doesn't start till September. It is. And I think you're filling a hole there, but it's also easy entertainment. It's 2.5 hours at the most. 2:15, 2.5. You get in, you get out. It's an inexpensive ticket. You can have fun and get in and out. And so that's I really think a lot of the selling point too. Just that it's, and also you don't need to act like more than what you are. And sometimes I think professional sports, they do.
Well, we're going to take a break and be right back with Greg Pogue.
The city of Murfreesboro is growing, and we need your help to prove it by participating in the special census. Murfreesboro Mayor Shane McFarland.
We want to get an accurate count of our residents compared to the last census. The more people that are counted, the more state shared revenue dollars Murfreesboro receives.
It's fast and easy. Complete the form online at murfreesborocensus.com.
Count me in.
Okay, count me in.
And count me in too.
Let's make sure every resident counts. Visit murfreesborocensus.com.
Walters here with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. I was named a top 10 agent in the #1 Exit Realty office in America in 2021. The top question I get around town, how's the market? Good question. And the answer's changed a few times this year alone. I'd like to know what you've heard and share some solid data we have. Give me a call and let's have a cup of coffee and take a look at what's happening in your neighborhood. All my contact info is right on my website, choosechip.net. I'm Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates.
Middle Point Landfill's Mike Klassen.
If you're a citizen in Rutherford County, the cost if Middle Point doesn't exist to you as a taxpayer is going to be at least $200 per household per year. But if you live in the city, because you have free disposal in the city, that number is closer to $400 per household on your property taxes right away.
The garbage that we generate will have to be taken 60 miles upstream, and you'll have to cover the charge. We don't want to be up the creek without a paddle. The answer's here, Middle Point Landfill.
You don't have hot dogs or apple pie or no Chevrolet to drive, but we have some hickory smoked wings you're just dying to try. You'll try them, you'll like them, you'll give some to a friend. So on a dare, just stop on by and bring in a friend. Slick Pig Barbecue, 1920 East Main.
You feel great at Adams Place.
Melanie teaches all of our exercise classes. I do the stretch and balance.
Alan Butcher.
Avis is our water aerobics instructor. It's really helped me to overcome some of my arthritis pain, and it's just a wonderful thing that we have here.
Hi, this is Terry Deal at Adams Place. Call me for more information about Adams Place. Phone 615-904-9111.
Adams Place on Memorial across from Walmart.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by AmeriCare Pest Control and the law offices of John Day.
This is a paid legal ad.
When a family member is lost as a result of someone else's negligence, the grief can be unbearable. It also leaves you with a lot of questions like, how did this happen? Who's responsible? And is my family going to be okay? That's a lot to go through, but with the law offices of John Day on your side, you don't have to go through any of it alone. We understand what you're going through, and we have the experience to get the answers, justice, and compensation your family deserves. Call the law offices of John Day.
WGNS welcomes everyone here for the TSSAA Boys State Basketball Tournaments over at MTSU's Murphy Center and invites you to come back and visit again soon. Now, this one's for all of you newcomers. Maybe you've just moved to town and want to learn more about the history of our community. Or maybe you've lived here for a while. Make an adventure to the one-room Ransom Schoolhouse this Saturday from 9 until noon. And talk with some new friends from the Rutherford County Historical Society. It's all free, including the coffee and donuts. That's 9 until noon this Saturday. And the one-room Ransom Schoolhouse is at 717 North Academy Street here in Murfreesboro. And again, it's free. Oklahoma is opening next week at the Art Center of Cannon County in neighboring Woodbury. Oklahoma, March 28th through April 12th. Now listen, the Kellys Singing Group will be at Liberty in Christ this Sunday night at 6. And that's over on Leanna Road here in Murfreesboro. keeping you informed. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
The city of Murfreesboro is growing, and we need your help to prove it by participating in the special census. Murfreesboro Mayor Shane McFarland.
We want to get an accurate count of our residents compared to the last census. The more people that are counted, the more state shared revenue dollars Murfreesboro receives.
It's fast and easy. Complete the form online at murfreesborocensus.com.
Count me in.
Okay, count me in.
And count me in too.
Let's make sure every resident counts. Visit murfreesborocensus.com.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Welcome back into the Roundtable. I'm Andy Herzer. My guest is Greg Pogue, but I'm going to take a moment and do my shameless plug for First Shot. This April 27th, we have 3 tables left. You can come and hear Dr. J, one of the 50 greatest NBA players of all time. The next day, we have the Jimmy Allen Golf Scramble. We have 10 golf teams left. You can sponsor a team. We also have about 3 or 4 hole sponsors left. If you're interested, you can give me a call at 615-631-5312. It'll be a great night with a great guy. And I can't wait to meet him, Greg.
Yeah. And I've been to several of yours over the years, and wow, Dr. J. But first off, Andy, I'm going to say this. Thanks for having me, number one. Number two, what you've done with First Shot Foundation, and I've seen it from day one and watched it grow, and your commitment to it and the lives that you've impacted. I would imagine now that it's generational, right? You're having people who go through the First Shot Foundation, having their kids are coming back and helping with that. I guess that's got to be the most rewarding thing is a young person that you helped is now helping you.
It's crazy. The amount now, because we're 22 years, it's what you said, it's become a second generation of kids in the suburban and inner city. If you really want to know the truth, I've now starting to have kids in both, and it is. It's been a labor of love, and it's been blessed by this. We just live in a really great community, Greg. I mean, let's just be honest. Yeah. Rutherford County is unbelievable, and
I've lived in Rutherford County since 91, maybe 92. Yeah,
over 30 years.
Yeah.
You got to think about it, Greg. And I'm over now 25. 29 for me. It's just such a great community that we live in, and they're going to embrace the Cats. I mean, it's really unbelievable. I remember my first arena football game going down with Bud Morris, Bob Lamb, and the gang. Right? They're football guys, and here they're taking a basketball guy to a Cats football game, and I'm glad it's back because for me, it was a sport and it was entertainment. It was such a great. I mean, it's just what you said. It's 2.5 hours. All sports now are lasting 3, 4. It takes up your whole day. The Cats won't. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important. People's time is really, really valuable, and how they want to spend it and how they want to be entertained. Because let's be honest, pro sports is entertainment.
It is, and the value, that's what we want to do, because a lot of people just can't afford to go to the Predators or Titans, okay? Just can't, right? Most people can't.
They priced us out.
Yeah.
The common person is priced out.
And that, so with that, and our partnership with the Predators in Clarksville F&M Bank Arena, they essentially run that building, and they do, and just like they do, Powers Management does, with Bridgestone Arena. That's the Predators' arm for that. But and the thing too is, Nashville, we joke about this. The cool thing I think about Rutherford County, I'm part of a larger MSA, Metropolitan Statistical Area, right? That's 7 counties, Davidson and then all the contiguous counties. We're part of that, but we're not. Does that make sense? That we have our own 400,000 people? And I tell people to come into Nashville, come, have a great time, spend your money, and go home. We're closed, right? We don't, but people are they're coming here because of the quality of life. Here, where we're sitting in this county, certainly one of the fastest growing counties in the Southeast, or if not the country. But this whole area is booming. So, how do you take advantage? Let me ask. I'm not going to quiz you on this, but you know how much money is spent in the tourism industry in this area, the 7-county MSA, which is Rutherford County's a part of? 27, and that's lodging, restaurants, even though we're not tourists, when we spend money, that counts, right? 27 million a day. 27 million a day is being spent in our market in the tourism community.
It is crazy, but it doesn't shock me.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, you add in high school sports, which we're going to start the boys tournament this week right here in Murfreesboro, and the money that'll be spent here in Rutherford County, it's a lot. But sports does that, Greg. We've been blessed to be a part of sports all our lives, you and I, and we've gotten to see a lot of great things. So in year 2, if you had your wish list for the Cats, what do you want to achieve out of year 2 with the Cats?
Making sure there's a year 3. I know it's flippant, but in any new, obviously business, but just to try to get as many people involved at whatever level they'll feel comfortable. Just have them feel like this is a family thing, and I think Jeff has done a really good job of putting himself out there. He's approachable, personable. Everybody, he's
always has been.
He's
even when he was in the NFL.
Yep, and just to become, now we're part of the landscape, right? That people wonder, well, it's a new business, is it going to make it, right? Like any new business. Well, we had our hurdles last year. We overcame them. We're back. A lot of those were not of our own making, but you deal with those. But yeah, we just want to be part of the landscape. Hey, Nashville Cats season's coming up. Yeah, let's go.
So how do you do that, though? How do you make yourself? I've always, after 22 years, Greg, what I've learned, I've gotten back active in the chamber. 1 out of 2 people that I talk to, they don't even know what I've done. It's changed. The landscape is changing that much with new people coming into our community and into the 7. If you think this community is growing, you take all 7.
Yeah.
How do you make yourself, again, every year you got to keep making yourself relevant. How do you do that?
Well, again, sustainability, putting out a quality product, showing consistency with that as well. But in my mind, we're going after the demographic. We're going after it's all over the map. We can go young, we skew old, we do this, but certainly we want to have the kids, because the kids, if they're being entertained, then the parents are happy, right? And so we want to get as many, the youth leagues where we've got our director of operations, Ashley Danielle, is working with all the boys and girls clubs to get a lot of the nonprofits like yours involved with that. We're going to be honoring every Metro Schools football team. and their athletic departments. They're all getting our guests. They're going to come on the field, be recognized, and everything. So I think that gives us a demographic that is really is a good target, and just try to be. I don't know. It's sort of hard, but you sort of got to be all things to all people, right? Because there are people who want to come in and have that VIP experience. They want to have the, roped off cork service, but also there's the one that's going to spend, I'm going to bring a family of 4, and it's going to cost me $20 in tickets. Well, plus fees. Ticketmaster does better than anybody. Okay, I'll just tell you that it's $5 plus fees. But we don't get that. But so just being something. Oh, that's fun. Let's go. It want it to be not a thought process of, it's just hey, here, the cats are here. Yeah.
Let's just be honest. Let's take a look at a family of 4 going to either the Preds or the Titans. That's $1,000 day. Going to the Cats is a couple hundred, maybe.
Yeah,
dollar
at the
day.
Most. Yeah, for 4.
At the most.
Well, our premium.
And that's if you
the premium. Eventually, our ticket structure will be like it's been. But we just wanted these first 2 games to say thank you. We're back. Thank you for helping us get here. But it will be 20, 40, and 50. So. But
you're still talking under
20, 30, and 50.
You're still talking a family of 4. That's 80 plus the fees is call it 90 for tickets, whatever that fee is that the Ticketmaster.
But
takes.
That's in a normal.
Yeah, it's a normal thing that we all are used to now. You got parking. Call that another $50. You're still under for $250. Your family is going to have an entertainment value that nowhere else in America that you can get, Greg.
Well, and the thing about it is, too, the parking, you wonder about that. If people know where James Robertson Parkway is, Municipal Auditorium, Channel 5 sits right there. Right behind that, there is state government parking that's free outside of normal business hours. So we have plenty of free surface parking after 5 o'clock Monday through Friday and then on the weekend. So that's sort of, it's a couple blocks, but it's free, right? You go downtown Nashville right now, you get within 2 blocks of where you want to be, you're popping out $50 to park.
Easy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And again, it's one of those things. I think entertainment dollars are, for all of us, we have a budget. And I think that's the entertainment value that you're giving, the Cats are giving. I hope our county gets behind it. I know you've already are going to take care of my kids, and we're going to come to a football game this year, and I can't wait to come with them because I just love to see kids have fun, Greg. Yeah. And arena football's fun. That's what you.
Well, you get the kids, you get the parents, right? You get the families, you got that, and so that's what we're doing. But yeah, you working. It's just now trying to spread the word. Yeah.
Well, that's why you're here. Cats football. Let's go again. First Friday.
Saturday. It's a week from Saturday night, March 29th, 5 o'clock against Albany Firebirds, and then the following Friday, April 4th at 6:30 that Friday night against the Oregon Lightning. So yeah. It's here. It's crazy.
I've been 22 years in First Shot now, Greg. I know you and I have known each other a long time, longer than that, but it doesn't seem like 22 years. And I think you're going to look back and say year 10-year anniversary, and it'll be like a blink of an eye for you. And the days are long, though, but the years are short. And I'm so proud of what you're doing, you and Coach Fisher, because we all need to be entertained and be able to laugh, giggle, and have fun. And that's what arena football is to me.
Yeah, and you talk about, Jeff, with the Nashville Cats, the the NFL took over the Arena Football League. Bud Adams bought from Mark Bloom the Nashville Cats. And during that stretch, they were within the Cats facilities and Cats people. I mean, they were intertwined in the day-to-day operations. Well, at that moment, back then, at that time, Jeff didn't, I mean, he had his own thing going on. He didn't need to be worried about arena football, indoor football. So he really didn't get into it as much because he was certainly into his own world, right? He's got the bug. He's been bit, man. I mean, and he's, like I said, he's flying home right now from Seattle. Game yesterday, game in Oregon day before. It's, and with his being out front, we're doing the car wash, of all the media outlets these past couple of weeks. But the thing, what he brings to it is he really believes in it. And I see that. I don't think he would, he doesn't need to be doing this, does he? Really? Think about it. I mean, his buyout from the Rams alone was fine. So there's the commitment from the top down. And it's not only Cats-wise, it's league-wide, with him being the commissioner.
Well, it is, to me, he makes it viable that the Cats will exist for a long, long time, Greg. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be right back with Greg Pogue and the Nashville Cats.
The city of Murfreesboro is growing, and we need your help to prove it by participating in the special census. Murfreesboro Mayor Shane McFarland.
We want to get an accurate count of our residents compared to the last census. The more people that are counted, the more state shared revenue dollars Murfreesboro receives.
It's fast and easy. Complete the form online at murfreesborocensus.com.
Count me in.
Hey, count me in.
And count me in too.
Let's make sure every resident counts. Visit murfreesborocensus.com.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Murfreesboro residents, did you know our city could receive $175 per person each year in state funding? That's why it's important to participate in the special census. This is Mayor Shane McFarland. Listing everyone in your household helps us qualify for more funding to improve roads, parks, and other services. Complete the form online at murfreesborocensus.com or use the prepaid envelope you'll receive in the mail.
Count me in.
Hey, count me in.
And count me in too.
No new taxes, no cost to you, just more to Murfreesboro. Visit murfreesborocensus.com.
Bell Jewelers reminds you that it's spring cleaning time. Look through their jewelry, and there may be styles that you don't necessarily wear anymore. Bring them to us here at Bell Jewelers. We'll buy the gold that you don't want anymore. We can take the stones and reset them into a more current piece. Come to Bell Jewelers and we'll help create a special piece just for you. Bell Jewelers, 821 Northwest Broad Street, across from Toots.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Welcome back into WGNS and the Roundtable. I'm Andy Herzer, founder and executive director of First Shot. I'm here with Greg Pogue. We're talking Nashville Cats. Greg, we're going to do one thing quick. Tell everybody how we can get involved in multiple ways. Who do we need to contact? with the Nashville Cats so that we can buy season tickets or we can be an advertising partner. Help us.
The Nashville Cats, with a K, Cats, thenashvillecats.com, and just, work your way through all of that. We reconfigured it. The tickets are not available this very minute, but we're going up online, I think, by tonight, and just because we wanted to do the $5 thing, and we had asked for that, but they just put in our old rate from just copied and pasted basically. So we're getting that fixed. But yeah, thenashvillecats.com. You can find out how to get us, and we respond. There's a reply there. We'll respond to your reply.
Well, again, I think it's for me that I can get a football fix without breaking my wallet. And that's, I think, very important to a lot of people today. We're going to shift gears. You and I are long time basketball guys. That's your dad, right?
Yep.
Basketball coach, Bowling Green. You and I, we share a history of basketball. So anything shock you when you looked at the NCAA brackets this year? Does 14 teams from one conference too many?
I think so. But whichever way you would go, I could take the counter argument, and because if you're the 14th best team in that league, you're probably your NCAA net's 35, 40, you're a top 40 net, and that's what you say look to. I don't like that many teams in it. I just think
that's where the net to me is broken.
Yeah.
Because you have 5 teams in the SEC that are in the top 10, which makes then everybody else's net drive lower. So it's not a real reality of your team to me.
And I don't know, it replaced the RPI, right?
Correct.
The ratings percentage indexed. I don't know, quite frankly, I don't know how it works half the time, really. I mean,
I don't think they do either.
But that seems a lot. But who amongst them would you not? Georgia? I mean,
it'd be Georgia or Vanderbilt.
Yeah, well, Vanderbilt. I mean, I think Vanderbilt earned their way in. Arkansas, maybe.
Again, those 3 teams are the 3 teams that you would have to throw under the bus if you're throwing.
Or in Oklahoma, also.
Yeah, I mean, but you start to look at it. It's just like you said, is the third best team in the Atlantic 10 better than those 3-4 teams we've just named, or the 5th team in the Mountain West, or right? I mean, that's what you're looking at.
Yeah.
I'm
a mid-major guy. Okay,
we all are.
Yeah, and now with the transfer portal, I mean, who knows, right? From year to year to year. I mean, you think, well, Kentucky's a blue blood, right? And Mark Pope, amazing job. 100% roster turnover at Kentucky. Think of that. 100% roster turnover at Kentucky.
Well, yeah. I don't know if it will be sustainable in the future with the portal. I do know this much, Greg. My cousin Matt Painter has used the portal the least of any in Division I, and I think he's going to have to figure out how to use it a little bit more, or he'll be left behind, because the portal is here to stay.
You know who gets really hurt throughout all of this is the fact that it's free agency every year is the high schools.
Oh.
The high schoolers. When you're let's say you're a mid-major like a Tennessee Tech, complete 100% roster turnover. Well, they're not doing 100% roster turnover, and not maybe Tennessee Tech's fair, but anyway, just somebody I threw out there is that they're not recruiting the high schoolers because they're keeping that spot open for a quick fix from the portal.
Well, everybody wants to stay old. That's the new term, right? And we look at it, Greg. I hate it for the high school kid. I mean, we have kids here that are low to mid-major players that they can't look at them. They can't take them. So now now
and there's no development anymore either, right? You get a kid,
zero.
Let's redshirt him. We'll have him, a couple 2 or 3 years, develop him. Nah, that doesn't happen.
Well, you can't do that.
Yeah,
because you can't take the chance because some AAU coach is going to get him a better spot, higher up, higher money. So I can't imagine it, Greg, how it's going to do, but. Let's kind of go down this. Number 1 team overall, Auburn, which I don't think's playing well right now, Greg.
No, they're not, and I tell you who is.
Florida.
It's Florida. I picked them to win the SEC tournament going in. They got bigs, they got speed. They can speed you up. They can bang down. I mean, they're deep. Todd Golden's done them.
So
Florida is right now. I hadn't filled my bracket in, but I'm thinking definitely Florida.
Florida,
yeah.
Then the other number 1 to me that is as complete as they've been is Houston.
Yeah. Kevin Sampson, amazing job what he's done there, and that's the guy that got fired at Indiana for texting too much. Think of that.
But he was hold it a second. Okay. He was on the ethics committee, and he did know the rules.
Oh,
Greg.
I know.
I mean, so you can.
Okay, is that Purdue coming out in you over there?
A little bit, but also,
yeah.
Also, that's what they got him for.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
All
anyway,
right, so let's not go there.
All right.
But I do like him as a coach. I like what he's done at Houston.
Would you agree, though, for the sake of argument, that what he did then he could get away with now?
Well, all of them can.
Yeah, all of them are, yeah.
I mean, they
knew
what
the rules were at
right.
the time. Like Bruce Pearl. He knew what the rules were.
Yeah,
and
they all, right now, how the landscape is, everybody knows what everybody's getting. So, again, it leveled it to some degree, but, the rich will get richer, Greg. How do you like Tennessee in this?
I like them. If they can score the basketball, okay, Lanier, Gainey, Ziegler, they have to be able to score out on the if they're shooting well, because defensively they're there. And don't you think, and you're the coach, don't you think, though, their game really sets up for NCAA tournament style where it's so segmented, right? You play 4 minutes, break, play 4 minutes, break. And so you got to win sort of each segment. I think Tennessee's built for that. If Tennessee can make shots, I think they're a Final Four team.
Again, as the arenas get bigger, Greg, shooting, when you're going to play in a football arena and a basketball game breaks out, shooting it becomes different. And so the teams that really, that can really score the basketball, that's why I like Florida, because they have multiple ways. Mm-hmm. They have guys that can shoot it. They have guys that can break you down and get to the rim. They have bigs that can score inside and out. I think Florida's probably, for me, the most likely team to make the deepest.
If you tell me who do you pick a team, I'd pick Florida right now. Yeah.
Dark horses for you. Here's a question I'll give you. Does Michigan State get to a Sweet 16 for the 10th time in a row?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, what Tom Izzo's done there. Dark horse. Somebody that I would go. I like Memphis, but I think Penny Hardaway. Quite frankly, I didn't think he knew what he was doing starting out, but he now is completely a whole new coaching staff. He learned, and he's going to get the players. They're in the money game. Memphis and
FedEx.
Memphis. Well, and Dana Kirk invented the NIL.
Nobody will recognize that name. That's younger than 60, Greg.
Okay, but. You know what I'm talking about. I like Memphis. I just think they're playing. They look like they're well coached. Memphis didn't always seem to be well coached to me. I don't know. It's a good question. You tell me.
I tell you who I like, and it's just because is Maryland. And I know they didn't beat Michigan. Michigan kind of righted the ship a little bit then, but Maryland's is built for a tournament. They've got really young players that don't think they're young. They're just that arrogant young team that wants to prove themselves. So as a dark horse for me, Maryland a little bit to make a run. Out of the SEC, you got to start to think. A lot of people think Arkansas has righted the ship a little bit and have gotten healthy at the right time. I don't know, Greg. There's so many. Gonzaga's playing really well right now.
Yeah, but and look at Alabama. Do you? Final Four, right? Last year, 2 seed, deservedly so. Do you trust them?
No.
I don't trust Alabama.
No, not at all. And the reason why is I don't think they have that presence inside that you need. He's okay, but he's not great. And they got great guards, and guards can carry you through a lot of things. But man, oh man.
Well, if they're not making shots, they're totally toast, right?
Yep.
That's what they depend on. I just don't. That's one of the things. In 6 games in a row, and depending upon that many, just the 3-ball.
I don't like them either. But they'll get to a Sweet 16 for sure. And there's 5 teams in the SEC, maybe 6 that can get to a Final Four, Greg.
And even sneaky goods, Missouri.
Oh, yeah. And people are talking that they're an upset.
Right.
That they're on
they did
an
win. I
upset
think
line.
they did win an SEC game last year, right? Something like that.
Yeah,
Crazy.
0.
Yeah.
Turned it around. Again, one of those things.
So do you fill out a bracket?
I will.
Do you?
Monty Hale will get me.
Oh, the Monty Hale bracket?
The Monty Hale bracket. We'll
Is that
fill
legal?
out one.
Is that legal now?
I don't think so. But, if they're going to come get me over $10, they can come get me for $10. But, it's the only thing that'll keep my interest in it. Because I don't think Purdue's going to go very far. It was a great run last year getting to go to a Final Four and watch my cousin sit in the championship game, Greg. I can't take that away. There will be never anything ever again.
A lot of Tennessee fans not happy with.
Well, for 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
But, you got to get good enough to win.
They don't. With Zach Edey, there's no such thing. They ought to just put a little, you have a game clock, you have a shot clock. You needed a 3-second clock right there beside the shot clock. You started getting mail delivered.
Well, again, Greg, I appreciate you coming in and busting my chops.
Yeah, I know that. First Shot Foundation, congratulations, Dr. J. Wow. That's when you told me that. I've been promoted to get on my thing I do.
Well, you've always been a huge fan of helping me, and again, thanks for coming on. You're the only guest I've had on twice, Greg. I want you to know that. And the hour goes by so quick.
So you're running out.
I have people calling now and saying, "Hey, can I get on?"
Compliment, right?
No, I have people calling saying, "Hey, can I come on your show? I got stuff to talk about." But no, Greg,
all right,
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
The city of Murfreesboro is growing, and we need your help to prove it by participating in the special census. Murfreesboro Mayor Shane McFarland.
We want to get an accurate count of our residents compared to the last census. The more people that are counted, the more state shared revenue dollars Murfreesboro receives.
It's fast and easy. Complete the form online at murfreesborocensus.com.
Count me in.
Hey, count me in.
And count me in too.
Let's make sure every resident counts.